Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how a Django project works, and I will show you how with the help of Ajax how we can show a data without storing it in the database. Fine. So at first we have to go to that particular folder where we want to work. So I have created a folder named Django. Inside Django, at first I have to click on this panel and type cmd. The command prompt will open. To begin or start any project, we have to move to the virtual environment so we can work. Why virtual environment is necessary? Suppose we are working in the latest version of Python, and the project which we get in future or in some time, it may work in the earlier version of the Python which is not supported by the latest version. So with the help of virtual environment we can work on the particular Python version. So to create a virtual environment, we have to write a command python. Let me python hyphen slash m venv, and then the suppose you want to give the virtual environment folder name as xyz or abc. Suppose I am giving abc. Fine. Now it will take some time to make a folder name abc. It is still going on. So now we have to move to the folder abc. So cd abc. Fine. And now again we have to go to the script folder, cd script sc, and then press tab. You will get the folder name by default script. Sorry, I mentioned cd space sc tab. Now I have to go to the activate.bash file. So a tab activate will come and we have to hit enter. Now you can see here abc. Now I am not in the my localhost environment, I am in the virtual environment abc. So let's move out of this folder, cd dot dot. Fine. Sorry, I moved little bit far, so I have to be in the Django folder. I have created a folder named sum. Inside that I have created one mini project on, suppose we have I am taking two user input and printing the sum of that input in the same page with the help of Ajax. So let's go to the folder sum, cd space s, and press the tab. You will get the, suppose you press the tab twice, so the folder which start with the letter s will come. So I don't have any folder with starting the letter s, so I will move to the folder sum. Now I have to open the VS Code. So opening the VS Code, I have to write a command code space dot. Now the VS Code will open. As you can see, there are so many files is there. So at first I want to share one more thing. I have created the project. If you want to create a new project, you have to at first you have to install Django. For that you have to write pip install Django. Now the Django will install. I have already installed the Django, so I don't require it. After installing the Django, now you have to create a project folder where you will keep your codes, HTML files, image file, or whatever you want. So for creating a project, we have to give a command Django admin, then start project, and after that the project folder name, suppose abc. If I hit enter, folder name abc will be created, but I don't want to make a new folder, as I have made earlier the sum folder. Now one more thing, after creating a sum folder, you will get to you have to install or you have to make a new folder called app. Inside app you can store some views folder. There is some difference between project folder and app folder. Let me show you with the help of VS Code. So here I have created my sum folder. Inside sum folder there is a folder named my app, and in the parent folder I have some static files, then I have some templates. Let me then manage.py db SQLite. So I'm gonna show you what is the difference between the parent folder and the my app folder. So in the my app folder everything is same. There is some changes, like the views is not available in the project folder, we have to create it. Again, the settings is not in the app folder, models is not in the folder. Inside the, as we know, Django works on the MVT architecture, model view template. Model consists of the database where we can keep or store data and retrieve some data, and the view where we can do the routing purpose. So let me this is the view. How the views work we will get to know step by step. And the template means the HTML files where we can store the front-end parts. So before starting a project you have to do some configuration, because settings.py is the gateway of a project. Suppose it is the entrance, the project will first move to the settings.py. At first we have to import OS. This is very important part. We have to import OS. Without importing the OS we are not able to give the project any local files. Suppose I am giving nav.html inside the template folder or footer, then my project will not know where these files are situated. So at first this is called templates. Inside templates we have to write this thing. When you create a project you will get this field as a blank, dirs, nothing inside it. So you have to give this code. OS means the operating system. Now operating system is your hardware or where your files has been stored. So OS space path. Now you have to join two paths. os.path join. What do you want to join? Base directory, which is I'm sorry. Now you will ask base directory. Base directory means base dir, and I have to merge two folder. First one is the parent folder, that is base directory, and the second one is template. Suppose my template is in another folder. Suppose this is my base directory, sum is my base directory. Inside base directory I have created a folder named template. Suppose my template is inside this include, then I have to mention this base directory include /template, then it will consider this folder. Otherwise it will find the template folder in the base directory, and we will not be able to get that template file and the error will come. So I have created the template in the base directory. Now move forward. There are some more changes we have to do in the settings file. Now this is static. Inside static we have kept our JavaScript file. So how it will get to know that where my JavaScript file is been stored? So this is the static files dirs. When you make a new project you won't get this thing. You will only get the static under URL, and this field will be black. Then you have to write, and it must be in caps, static files underscore dirs. Fine. Now you have to pass some value, os.path.join. Fine. Base directory, because static file is in the base directory and we want to merge the base directory with our JavaScript file. So static. Fine. Now this static root will, earlier it is not available, it will not be here. You will get this thing. Fine. To get, and this is static file. Suppose I am deleting this static file. let me show you one more thing. I have deleted this static files. Now I don't have any static file, I have only static. So at first, after moving the here, we have to create a routing things. So inside my app, now suppose URL see here the parent folder name is sum. Inside sum there is one more sum. So this is the URLs and files for my project, and this one is for my app. So here at first we have to do one thing. When you create the project, it will be like this from Django, and these two commands are only available. You have to import these views. Right now I don't have views here. My views.py don't know where these views or anything. So I am at the urls.py. I have to import this view file. Let me close all the tabs. Fine. So this is the entry point, and this is the only thing which will be available. After that, this path, the empty path. Suppose I want to enter in any website, so I have to keep it blank. Now views, as you can see, views is not defined as we haven't mentioned views here. So from my views.py file is inside the my app folder. So from my app import views. Now see, if I press Ctrl and hit on views file will open, as you can see. And in technical terms, a folder is called package. Inside package there is some functions, files inside file. So files. Fine. So let's move toward the views. Now suppose my path is blank and I want to view this index. So we have to create, I have created some JSON files, JSON response. These are not available, only this part will be available when you make views. You have to write these two commands. I have written this for my project where I want some JSON response. So I am requesting what? Index. Show me the index function. As you can see here written function def index. So I want index function. So what will be the inside function? Index function. If the index function has been requested, you have to return and render with respect index.html. You have to show the index.html file. Let's start the server and go for it. So for starting the server, we have to write code Python, or else you can write only py manage. As you know that manage.py is available, so type ma and press the tab. Manage.py will come, and then run server. Fine. Do you mean activate virtual environment? Could not import Django. Oh sorry, I have created a new virtual environment. So my Django is not installed in the particular virtual environment. So I have to move out of this folder and now let me install the Django here. Pip install Django. Fine. This is the main reason why we use virtual environment. Suppose I have installed Django in this environment, then my other environment is not aware of this. Only while activating this ABC environment we will work on this particular Django. Otherwise Django is not known by my local environment or other environment. So finally my Django has been installed. So now again start the server. Oh, I am getting some errors. Static file share setting is not a tuple or list. Oh, I am getting errors also. Error is the best thing. I missed this part. Fine. Now error has been gone. Now again start the server. Fine. Now server is working. Let's move towards my localhost. Localhost :8000. See, my index page has been come. Now I want to move forward to the sum folder. Inside sum folder, I will give two datas for 20 and 54. Then the sum of 20 and 54 is 74. Without reloading the page or storing the data in the database, I am doing some calculations here and the result has been shown down. So now let's move toward that particular file. So now I have created some static, like inside static I have created some Ajax file. This is the other thing. At first I am at the index.html file. So for index.html, so as you can see there is nothing in the index.html. Index.html is blank. Suppose I have written h1, something h1. This is my index page. So I've written this is my index page. What will happen? Let's move forward. Let's have a check. So I have moved to the home. Nothing happened. Why this is not working? Oh, sorry. I have to keep it in the block. Before going to the index part, let me tell you one more thing. I have not written any HTML code here, but still the index page are showing some navbars. Why? What is this base.html? This means I have created an HTML file named base, and I have kept some codes there. So what are the codes? Let's move to the base.html. Now move to the base.html. So here as you can see, load static. Without this we are not able to load the static file. Fine. I have given my script source. Now what is this dot? For this dot you have to be particular. If I remove this dot and directly say static and then the Ajax, then it will not work, because my static folder is outside from the current folder. Suppose right now I am in the template folder. Inside template there is one more thing, include. Inside include I have given foot and nav. So I am at the base.html. So if I want to give this Ajax file access to the base, I have to move 2 steps back. At first 1 step back. This means now I am at the sum folder. Inside sum folder, this is 2 dot means now I have /static. Now I will move to the static, then again /ajax.js. Then this file will be included here. I have used bootstrap for this project. Now as you can see, I have nothing here, just a style h1. This h1 means my Django project. This one Django project. I have just used rest apart. It is been taken from the bootstrap. Fine. Now as you can see, nothing here. Whole body part is empty. What I have included? This include dot. As you can see, I have put 1 dot here, 2 dot, because I have to move from base.html. Inside base.html parent folder, if you put 1 dot, then you will be inside your parent folder. If 2 dot, then again the base directory, or suppose 1 folder back. Again if 3 dots, then 2 folders back. we have to do like that only. So nothing, I have included what, nav. This is no this is the properties of Django with the help of Jinja. With the help of Jinja, we are inheriting the properties of another HTML file to my base file. Now, what is nav? Let's move forward to the nav. So I have written some codes in the nav. So I have given some URLs like sum. If I click on the sum tab, here you can see sum has been come. So how? If I click on the sum nav item, move me to the URL sum. Fine. So inside the nav bar, I have given so many codes, the bootstrap codes, and this code has been included in my base.html with the help of Jinja template. And this block content, as you can see, right now I am using HTML snippets. Suppose I have changed it to Django HTML with Jinja. Now as you can see, these are the colorful lines. Earlier it was black and white. Now if I press Control, so Control is not working, it will work in this index. Change it to this, change this snippets to Django.html. Fine. So now we are in block content and end block content. Whatever we will write inside the content block, it will come here. So I have written h1. Suppose I have to change the snippets to HTML. Now I have written h1. This is my index page. Now the whole thing is working on the principle of HTTP request and response. When we are passing some argument, this is request. I want this request path consists of three things: HTTP request, the function, and the name of the folder, name of the view, and inside index. Now this is HTTP request, and this thing is the HTTP response. Return render request with index. This is response. We are responding, we are giving back the index.html to the browser. As you can see, localhost :8000/sum. Localhost is the URL or the IP address of my local computer. 8000 is my port number. I can change the port number also. Let me show you how you can change the port number. Close the server. So run server. If you want to run the by default for a Django project, 8000 is the default port number. I want to change it to 4000. So py manage.py space run server space 4000. Fine. Now the server has been starting. So the URL of the development server is 127.0, as 127.0.0.1 is known as the IP address of localhost or local computer. Now if I give URL localhost 8000, then this site can't be reached. So what we have to do, we have to give it a proper port number. Fine. So many tabs has been open. Localhost 4000. Something is happening. Why it is not working? Let me check. Everything is fine. Close the server. Broken pipe. Broken pipe. Fine. So now you can see there was some issue in the backend. I don't know what happened. Broken pipe from something. My PC is little bit old. That's why. So now we are at the port number. Oh, fine. So we are at the port number 4000. Fine. Let's go to the page sum. Give some input 20, 30 and then save. My sum is 50. Fine. Now let's move how this is working. What is the logic behind this thing? For this we have to go to this sum.html file. As you can see, it is loading. My PC is so old. It is working like my grandfather. Slowly. I have to give him some stick or a wheelchair. Oh, my whole folder is now getting refreshed. Nothing to do. We have to wait. Thank you so much, sir, for the coming. Oh, fine. So, please stop. I told you one thing. This block content and in block content, whatever we will write outside this folder will come within this. Rest of the part will be same. Now sum. See, block content and block content. And what I did, extends base.html. I have inherited the properties of base.html with the help of Ginger template engine. Now I can work on the sum. So I have given two input fields, num1 input and the second one is num2 input. Not required. Let's move. Sorry. These spans are not required. I don't want any error. My code is error free. Fine. I have taken two inputs and I have given two IDs, num1 input, num2 input. And when I click this button, which is IDs sum_btn, what will happen? For this we have to document.ready function. This means when my document is properly ready, then it will work. So I told you sum_btn, the ID in the HTML must same as you are giving in the JavaScript or vice versa. .click, this is the event listener. When I click this thing, event.prevent default. What does this line means? Prevent default means the page will not reload. I will parse some data, parse int. Now here as you can see, I am input type is text, so whatever you will give the input, it will taken as the string. So passed it int is a function which will convert the integer value to the string value to the integer value. Fine. num1 and num2, I have created these two variables. Inside it I have stored the value of the id num1 under input. So whatever value I am giving inside this text box has been stored in the num1. Again same for the num2. Now you will ask, what is if is nan? This is one more important thing. Nan means not a number. Not a number. Suppose you are giving ABC. Instead of 1, 2, 3, you are giving ABC. Then the whole program will be crashed. It will only allow the numerical value. If it is not a numerical value, then it will enter a valid number. Fine. Let's move. Suppose I am giving 20. Some students are so good and genius, they will try to add ABC and 30. So please enter valid numbers. Your logic will not work here. You have to give only the integer values. So 15, 30 is 80. Fine. Now I have taken these two things. Now how it will print this line? I am not giving anything. Why this line is going to print here? So see what I am passing. Acknowledge. In the acknowledge id, please pass this text. Please enter a valid numbers. Please enter valid numbers. Where I have created a div. This hr will give a line. This line, this hr means this line, these two lines, hr. In between these two lines you have to print the output. The id is acknowledge and the div is empty. I have nothing. If I write result, then what will happen? Reload. See, result is here. And again if I give 20, 30, then what will happen? It will change the value. Earlier I don't want to give anything here. It will change the value. So this is empty div. Inside this acknowledge div, we will print the output. Fine. After this, move to forward to this console log num1 and num2. Why this is necessary? Why console.log? Suppose we are not giving this console. Then my project will work. There is nothing to do with the console.log. So inspect this page. Go to console. This is console.log num1 num2. This is. Suppose I remove this console.num1. Fine. Then I will run. Again, sorry. Now still it is giving me these two values. I will come later why this is still working. First write the JS part. After that I will show how to load this JS file in my project. So after Ajax, where I have to move, the URL will be sum. My data will be printed in the sum URL. The method is post, y post, this form method post, and this is CSRF token. This CSRF token is very important for the security purpose, because when we pass the data, it will show some values of this CSRF token instead our input or something. Now we are at our local site, that's why we are seeing this. When we console, then we will not be able to see this thing. Fine. So I have what are the data inside the Ajax part? num1 the value, num2 the value. If you don't want to give this thing here, we can directly copy and paste it here. and the CSRF middleware token. The value of the CSRF middleware token will be stored in this thing. I can rename it as token or whatever I want. So if success, we have to give some response. As I told earlier, Django works on the HTTP request and response process. So I am giving some response. What inside the acknowledge div, you have to print the sum of response dot num1, this num1 plus and response of num2, fine, and response dot sum. Now we will get to know sum is not available for this sum part. Let's go to the views, view.py. Fine. If request dot method is equal to get, now it is wanting some file. Fine, give him some .html. Now it is posting something. What it doesn't want anything. Now it is giving you something. Whatever it is giving. Fine. So print request dot post. I have to print request and the post. So num1, whatever we have given the num1 here, we have to give same thing. Num1 is equal to request dot post dot get num1. It will get the num1 value from the Ajax. Num2 same. If not num1 or not num2, it will check for the missing values. If the values is missing, it will return a JSON response. What will be the JSON response? This. Please enter a valid number. Any error come, it will print this. Fine. After it will try, it will validate. As I told earlier, num1 is equal to int num1, num2 is equal to int num2. I am trying these values to validate and convert to int. If anything happens, return JSON. Now I am doing some total parts. Total sum is a predefined function, that's why I have changed the name to total. Total is equal to num1 plus num2 and print three things, num1, num2 and total. So return JSON response. What it will return? Num1, num2 and the sum. This sum, response dot sum. Now response dot num1, response dot num2, response dot sum. These three responses are being coming from this thing, and Ajax will show us the data. Fine, we have written this JS part. Now let me show you one thing. Before running the server, we have to do some changes. What changes? Let's close the server. py manage.py collect static. Fine. See, there is no folder name static files. Fine. When we run this, command, yes, I want to overwrite. What happened? Static under root. We have to give some, we missed some parts. What parts have been missing? Here, static under root part. Static under root. Fine. Static under root. You are using the static file app without having see what error came. You are using the static files app without having this set the static root setting to a file system path. Yes, I did. I have not given static. So again, os dot path dot join. What I want to join is the base directory with static files. Static files. Fine. then clear the screen. Oh, frozen. Why? Why, bro? Why you are doing this to me? So many issues. Sorry. Fine. Oh, here we don't have to give that bracket. Fine. 128 static files has been copied to here. Now see, static files has been created. My Ajax file is now here. Now see, running. Connection refused. Fine. My PC is slow. Thank you so much. Wait. Yes. So today we have cleared the concept of views and templates. Model part is not mandatory right now because for that we have to learn our database, SQL, NoSQL, MySQL. There's so many databases are available, but Django uses SQLite as its default database. I will use PostgreSQL in my next video, and I will make a form. Like suppose we are moving in any website, we are surfing any website, and it asks some data, your name, mobile number, email, XYZ, and it stores the data in the database so we can retrieve or retract the data for our future use. Okay, so these are the things. What are the important things before moving to the project? First, we have to give this template. We have to join this template folder. Fine. We have to give this static file dir. Then again the static dot under root, static under root. So it will create my Ajax, my JavaScript file to my project. Then this load static, it will load the static part. And one more thing, we are not able to use any media. If I suppose I want to show any images in my website, I won't be able to do that. For that thing we have to use media under root, and the folder of media we have to import that values, then only we can see the images. I will show it in my next video. There is lots of things to come for short of time, and for the starting thing we have to do these things. So step by step I want to share something. At first we have to create virtual environment if not available. After that we have to create a Django, we have to activate that environment. We have to go to the inside the environment folder. Inside that folder there is another folder named script. Inside that folder we will get a file called activate.bat bash. We have to activate that file using cmd. After that, without deactivating or closing the cmd, use cd dot dot and come out of the environment folder and type Django slash admin, Django-admin space start project space your project name. Fine, the project folder will be created. Then again use cd space project folder name. You will move for inside the project folder. Again you have to write Django-admin start app space your app name. This is not necessary, but for your future reference, please make my app folder so you can do multiple apps. Suppose now I am doing a small project, I have nothing to do, I have only 4 fields. In future you have so many apps, so many features, so you can do particular app for the particular features. So inside my app there will be a view, there will be URL. So before starting a project, make a template folder, only this, a template folder and a static folder which will be not available earlier. So you have to make that folder. After creating that folder, uh, now go to the settings.py. Inside this settings.py you have to do some configuration. At first you have to import the OS. Afterwards you have to give the template directory. You have to join the template directory to the base directory using os.path.join base directory comma folder name. Now move little bit downwards. Then again you have to give your static files girs where you have kept your js css files. Okay, you can keep css files in html also, but it will be better if you keep your js part in the static. Inside static you have to write a line of code, that is static files under dirs. Within the array brackets you have to write os.path join base directory, then the folder name. Fine. In the last and after that you have to write one more code, static under root is equal to this command, static under root is equal to os.path. Without that array bracket or the second bracket you have to write this command, os.path.join base directory comma static files. Because whatever you can, I have given this folder name static files, you can give whatever you want, but it will be better if you give the static files. Now then go to the template folder, make an HTML file, a basic HTML file where just print hello world as we do before, and then go to the urls.py. Inside urls.py you have to give some command. What command? This urls command. Suppose I am giving nothing, this means I don't want to give you any command. Sorry, my server has been down. What? Oh, I stopped the server. Run server. I'm running in the default port number, that is 8000. Server has been started. Change the port number to 8000. Navbar came, nothing here. So inside urls.py you have to show something. What if my URL is not passing any values? Why? Here I am not passing any string values. URL colon port number, sorry, IP address. This URL consists of IP address, port number and the query string. So I am not passing any query string. I just want it to be blank. Not passing means we are passing the blank query string. If the query string is blank, go to the views, and inside views package there is a function named index, and name this path as home because this is my home folder, home page. It will take you to the index page, views package. Where is my views package? Oh, inside my app. So before this you have to write this command, from my app import views. Without this it will not know what is this views means. You have to move to the views. Find inside views the function it wants is index. So inside index what we have to do, return render request comma index. Also we have to serve this index.html. Index.html has been served. Fine. These all things called routing. We are routing from one page to another. Thank you so much for today. If you have any doubt you can ask me. Thank you so much.